Good evening, madumeke setswana ntetela ke khomgele ke go dumedise nna ka lebitso ke nna Tisetso Masike. Happy Heritage Month Mzansi. Now we have the best of culture, showing off more of tradition and also celebrating Tourism Month. Be sure to follow us on the X app at Trendz on SABC. Reporting to you live from the SABC studios in Auckland Park, let's say it together, welcome to TrendzLive. Now, Port Shepstone in the KwaZulu-Natal was abuzz with much excitement recently. This as South African and international film creators gathered on the South Coast to showcase films and engage in empowering conversations, adding value and knowledge to the South African film industry. TrendzLive producer Didintle Mokeleti captured a few moments. Let's go get more.
Legends in the film industry gracing the red carpet at the official opening night of the 11th Ugu International Film Festival. And of course, the cinema was a befitting venue for the first screening of the festival. The Lake, a newly released thriller, wowed audiences. Director Lee Thongkamp from Thailand was present for the screening. Lee, congratulations on your film, The Lake. That was absolutely amazing to watch. Why is this such an important time in South Africa for you to be showing this film?
Right now, all the technology is growing, the world is adapting, and South Africa needed a new genre. Something like the monster movie of South Africa to be here, and everybody seems to be here to supporting it, so I'm excited. It's about family, a movie about family, but the monsters trying to find the baby. It's about the sister trying to find the brother, trying to find the sister, the father trying to find it's about connection. Everybody's all connected to each other in this movie.
What is your perspective of the film industry currently in our country, and how do you think you're going to help?
Genre. South Africa need a genre movie. We need some action, some monster movies, some sci-fi, anything that's not we don't have, we need to make it, so everybody can see we can do these things too.
And to honor the aspirations of the film festival, Lee is open to share his unique skills with aspiring filmmakers yearning to learn the art of producing high-quality content. Here's what moviegoers and film enthusiasts had to say about this cinematic experience.
I was very impressed with it. Never to judge a book by its cover. When I heard it was a lake and it was this little story about this egg that came back, I thought it was going to be this real cute, heartwarming. I sat there terrified, let me tell you. It was very scary. But there was a lot of good things that came out of it. How communities in stress, regardless who you are, come together.
What we do as a family in time of triumph, what do we do within a family in time of terror, So that's where I looked at it, especially coming with my dad. Dad, what did you think?
Well, I think being a family, this film showed us family reunion, because most of the time as parents, we don't have time for our children. But in this kind of movie like this, it makes you think how we actually don't take proper notice or care of our children.
Oh my God, it was so amazing. The film, the everything from directing. Spiritually, it took me away. I got to experience in another world while still being in the theater. It was just so great. I loved it.
I think having a festival on the South Coast is a great opportunity for the guys to showcase the South Coast. I think it's a good opportunity for the kids at the digital to get into it. These guys showcasing the first of it just sets the tone, it shows us what we can achieve. And I think with them prepared to give the technology and the education over to our children now, it can take them far in their careers.
The following days were jam-packed with workshops enlightening young people from surrounding townships with informative tools about filmmaking. The workshops included an acting masterclass by Dr. John Kani, film business and funding opportunities too. They were spearheaded by tyrants on the South African film scene, bringing positive transformation to the face of the South African industry. Well done to the Ugu Film Festival makers.
Now, while we celebrate heritage this month, it's important for us to look back at those who came before us. Today, we are digging deep into the struggles and triumph of the African experience through a theatre production titled Blacksmith. This 2022 Zwagala Festival winner production will be open for viewing from tomorrow on the 23rd of September all the way to the 8th of October. Slepe Maifadi had a sneak peek earlier this week, and since she's saying that she gave it a thumbs up for this heritage weekend. But let's see if you actually agree. Let's go have a look.
The Market Theatre is celebrating the 2022 Zwagala Festival winning production called Blacksmith through an engaging piece that uses different elements on and off the stage to highlight culture.
It's a celebration of the fact that of how important developmental programs are. All right, I think very often we take for granted that people need platforms, people need access. How about squeezing in? It's literal, squeezing in, because it's vital that people who wouldn't usually get opportunities to take part in things like this that can land them on mainstream big theatres like at the Market Theatre. It's vital that these people have access.
Thabo Raimani and Lonwabo Bele teamed up by writing, performing and directing this award-winning production for quite an extensive period. This accolade has afforded them the opportunities of growing the quality of this production.
Things work differently when you are suddenly afforded a team that can assist you, someone that can design your set, whereas you were doing it before. You have people like myself who then sit with you and are able to give you pointers on what goes into some directorial choices. You have people like Monacheng Mutabi, who was appointed the dramaturge for Blacksmith, who was able to sit down with the writer, Thabo, and really unpack a lot of what the narrative needed in order for it to grow.
When I was writing this piece, I didn't actually know what I was going to do with this piece. I just wrote it, but when I was writing it, the aim was for it to be a listening session, but not a theatre play. And then up until I realized actually can be a theatre play, because most of the time it's just those few plays that speaks about this kind of a work. And so I did research, I used different elements, went to libraries, went to the Gauteng archives in Kagiso, even Googled, read books, historical books. So, there's a book called History of Basotho, and in this play other people will recognize some of the icons from this history, like Bomo Profeta Mantsopa, that serve in the kingdom of Basotho, and some of the declaration and prophecies that were told by Mohlomi that extracted from there, just to share some of the ideas in which this creative work is inspired by. So the inspiration through that is through these historical events that actually have happened, and that I thought maybe actually can be on stage as a form of entertainment, but also people can be able to learn and realize and choose, because they have a choice. We're not forcing them, but to open that choice to say, maybe you can go and research, maybe go get this book and stretch your knowledge further. So it's like we open also that idea to say, guys, let's go and maybe find out more about who we are.
Our people need to actually know these stories, that it's not about history, but it's about where it comes from, which is from our forefathers, and how it was told and how it's tainted right now. So reminding them Uguti, our history comes from our great-grandfathers, and it's through mythologies, fables and folk tales, so they should know Uguti is Puma Plesdor.
This ode to culture comes at a perfect time as we celebrate our heritage this month.
Oh, Selena Kochwale, Rekopisa tsela ya hao. Relete uri khanya ka fihla wena. Empa ko bone nako se senyehile ka baka la hore wena o itatotse ketso tsa bonkgono le bontatemoholo. Oh, we tatotse setso sa hao le puo ya hao. Ela, a ko bone fela di pale tsa bonkgono le bontatemoholo di shwele ditloholwaneng tsa bona.
It's going to be amazing, and I think everybody will leave with something, be it a gem from the text or just even the experience. If you notice the setup of the theatre, we deliberately wanted it to be like this so that everybody is involved in this action, so that we're not just experiencing theatre from the distance and being passive audience members. We are part of the storytelling, and of course it's rooted in traditional African storytelling where we are around the fire, and so we were really simulating that energy so that they must know that they are part of it. It's them, and he'll be speaking to them directly. There's no fourth wall, there's nothing. We are all in this together, and we're all here to try and find our way through this maze of African identity.
Young people will definitely resonate with the show because it's not only about the history, but it's about the now. It's questioning also the now.
This story lives beyond Heritage Month and aims to spread the message in all parts of the country and even to the rest of the continent.
Au, utla Setswana ka monate, we kgantsho ba Africa. God bless production of theatre. Now let's go for a cricket break, but be sure to sit back, relax and enjoy. Don't forget to follow us on the X, it's at Trendz on SABC. And meanwhile, be sure to tell your friends, your cousins, and tell umakhelwane ukuthi they must tune into TrendzLive because the best show is on your screen. We'll be right back, stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still tuned in to TrendzLive, the best way to start your weekend. As they said here in studio, a weekend enkulu. Now, it's no surprise that Heritage Month happens at the same time with Tourism Month in South Africa. A perfect time to learn about the country's diverse cultures and attraction sites. You see, most of these heritage sites and tourism offering hold South Africa's deep history as a country at large. Our site of choice this month, well, we took time and we looked at the South African Aviation Museum at Rand Airport in Germiston, east of Johannesburg. Here we find some fun facts about aircrafts and why you need to add air travel on your bucket list. You know that tick? Let's go have a look.
Founded in 1986, this museum is the largest aviation museum in the continent. It is also home to 11 South African Airways aircrafts and 2 Boeing 747 planes donated by the SAA. Some of the aircrafts here are very old, 72 years to be exact.
It started in 1986, the museum started. And it was South African Airways Museum. We have now incorporated a bit of other aviation history because just to make it more interesting for our visitors. We will take you through the display hall, which shows you the mostly sort of the memorabilia that we used, things that we used many years ago on board the aircraft and up until modern day. Some people who do visit the museum are actually a little afraid of flying. So we try and make them a little less afraid. So we try and tell them that there are safety measures on board an aircraft and that flying is one of the most one is the safest mode of transport in the world actually. Every 30 seconds somewhere in the world an aircraft is landing safely with hundreds of people on board. It is an expensive mode of transport. However, one day we can afford to do it. We save up our money. When we do the school groups through here, we take school children through on tours and we explain to them that it is expensive, but they need to save their pocket money so that they can one day fly. The Boeing 747 SP, this one is pristine. She's absolutely beautiful, and we leave it like this. We don't allow tours through the aircraft. However, we are going to start. Our first tour is on the 4th of November, a technical tour, which is going to cost a little bit extra for guests. It will be for adults or children over the age of, say, 14 that can respect and can understand. Then we will take you through a technical tour. They will actually light up this aircraft with the GPU.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board the Lebombo, the first Boeing 747 to have arrived in South Africa in November 1971. It also flew over Ellis Park during the Rugby World Cup in 1995. I am your captain, Giadimil Mwadus. Let's take off.
This is your panel for your autopilot. They engage it with these over here will be put up, and then the aircraft will fly on its own. About 90% of the time it does fly on autopilot. The pilots will engage autopilot after takeoff and disengage before landing. Okay, however, on a modern day aircraft today, the autopilot, she can fly all the way to New York, land, and park in the parking bay automatically. So it is quite intelligent because of the computers, and it's all in computer. Okay, this is the slide raft. This is what we escape from the aircraft with in an emergency. That is normally stowed in this door bustle over here.
Alright.
Okay, and when we hear that command, arm all doors, cross-check doors to automatic, we are arming the door, we are attaching it to the floor of the aircraft, so that in an emergency, when we open this door, it falls out, but it's still attached to the aircraft. On land, it will become a slide. We will slide away from the aircraft, okay? And on water, it becomes a raft. All right, so in the raft and all the survival equipment in here, we have day and night flares. We have a beacon which will signal for 48 hours. We have dehydrated food in there. We have sweets for energy, not for the children. Sweets for energy. And then we have a signaling kit, so we can write words on the floor. We have like for in case we get a puncture, we can fix the puncture. We have a bucket that we can bail the water out. Then we have a canopy, we call it a canopy. We would attach it and we could collect the rainwater, and so we could drink it, because you know we cannot survive without water. We can survive without food, but we cannot survive without water. Okay, so this is the safest part of the aircraft, the back of the aeroplane, and for that reason our black box is at the back. But they've had the most survivors in emergencies, in disasters, of aircraft disasters. The most survivors are in this section of the cabin, and that is why the research, the research has proven that this is actually the safest part of the aircraft. So I think this is where most of us should sit, at the back of the aircraft. So this is because it is the safest. Okay, and all these, you notice that there are row numbers here, and you'll see it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K. There's no I.
There's no I. Why?
There's no I because it looks like a 1. So I would be saying to the passenger, you're on row 48I. He might think he's on 481. Do you see? So we don't have an I. There's also no row 13 on an aircraft. Okay, because 13 is an unlucky number. This is where our black boxes are kept. Always at the back of the aircraft, because this is also deemed to be the safest part of the aircraft. Okay. So over here we have, on this particular aircraft, there's three boxes. You see 3 boxes. One is a battery that is charging for the APU, and the other one is a flight data recorder and a voice recorder.
This one in the middle.
Those, yes. And you also notice that the black box isn't black.
Yep.
The black box is orange.
Actually, I thought it was that.
But it's actually orange, so that we can notice it and we can find it. Okay, the color, it's a nice bright color, so that we can actually find it when we're looking for it. It does have a signal that will signal. It has a beacon in there that will signal for many days. I think it's 9 days. It can last underwater for 31 days, and we could still read the recordings. It can reach a temperature of 2,000 degrees Celsius, so even if there's a fire on board, it cannot be destroyed, and it is made of titanium, so it's indestructible.
Well, I am sold. I think air travel is definitely getting onto my bucket list. Now, don't lend it just as yet, because we are still in the air. Now, Bill Harrop's original balloon safaris have announced Michael Maja as the first company black commercial hot air balloon pilot in their 4-decade-long existence. Maja received his private pilot license in February and had his first celebratory flight recently while enjoying the ride on his balloon with unforgettable views. Show producer Asanda Zondi had a one-on-one with Maja. Congratulations, Black King. Keep shining.
Top of the morning, Johannesburg. It is a beautiful morning indeed. We are at Magaliesburg for a beautiful hot air balloon ride. I cannot wait to experience all the views from the sky. But not only today is about adventure, we are also celebrating Black excellence. Our very own black hot air balloon pilots. Can you believe it? But before everything happens, I want you to enjoy the view for the moment, and we're gonna find out how everybody feels about this.
Today is my birthday and I'm very excited to do this for the very first time. It's very special to me.
What are you hoping to experience? What are you hoping to see? What are you looking forward to?
The scenes, I'm just hoping to just enjoy myself and have a lovely day.
I once did this, but it was quite some time ago, and it was before even my family, with the kids grow up.
Are you hoping things will be different this time?
Sure, I am, because experiencing things as a family is always, bringing its own uniqueness.
Okay, so what are you looking forward to?
Different views. Last time we couldn't see as far as Pretoria, Johannesburg, so I heard from others that you can see it that far. So I'm experiencing and hoping that this will come with it.
You guys look so young to be so adventurous. When did you hear about the hot air balloon?
We heard it from our mother last week. She's very adventurous and she enjoys things like this. So we just found it interesting to come here and see what happens.
When you get on that balloon, what are you expecting?
I'm not really sure what to expect. Just like a lot of fun that comes with it. Maybe a little bit of nervousness. Yeah.
And turbulence.
And what?
Turbulence.
So do you think this is like a normal aircraft?
Yeah, more or less.
It might be shaky. I don't know, wind direction.
Okay, so guys, are you looking forward to it though?
Very much, yeah.
Yes, very much.
In a world where we try to control everything, it was time to take that risk of floating up into the sky and let nature take us in whichever direction it chooses with the very first Bill Harrop's Black commercial hot air balloon pilot.
So hot air ballooning started at a very early age for me. So my mom used to work for the company, and then from there I used to be a part of the ground crew. And then last year was when I started working towards my balloon pilot's license, where I got my private pilot's license. And then from there I built my hours and went on to fly commercially, which is where I am now. So to become a hot air balloon pilot, in terms of education, you don't need anything that's very hectic. You just need to be proficient in English, because that's the language of aviation. And then from there you're gonna write your exams. So there's 5 exams that you need to write, and then you build 16 hours with an instructor. And then once they check you out that you're safe to fly solo, you fly solo to build another 100 hours, and then from there you can get to your 100 hours and hopefully get a job to be a commercial pilot.
In a hot air balloon, can we do long distance?
So in terms of distance, it's all dependent on where you're flying and also the conditions for the day. So you can't really predetermine to fly from here to Joburg, for example, because the winds vary at different places that you're at, and also you need very safe places where you can land. As you see where we've landed here, there's lots of open field, and we also look out for power lines, because power lines are mainly not our best friend at all.
Okay, everything has, what do you call this, the pros and cons, and any other thing in the world, there are risks involved. What are the risks?
So generally, like I was explaining while we're flying, you spot on, everything has risks. In terms of this, we could have anything such as a fuel leak, which a pilot will generally be aware of, or you could have a fire on board. That's also a possibility. But however, we mitigate those risks as much as we can, and we're also trained to handle those kind of situations as well, which is why there's most importantly no smoking on board.
How many people can a hot air balloon accommodate?
So the balloon we are flying in can take up to 2 passengers. It depends on the size of the basket and the envelope as well. The other balloons that we're flying are much bigger. They can take from 6 to 8, 12 to 16, and then we have 3 of those that can take up to 16 passengers. So those are the biggest balloons that we have, which is a class 4 balloon.
Okay, so hot air ballooning, who is it for? Someone who's adventurous? Someone who wants to try something different?
I think a ballooning ride is for everyone. Everyone should experience a balloon flight once in their lifetime. There's generally nothing stopping anyone from flying. One of our oldest passengers that we've had is in their 90s. So as you see, we have crew, we actually have ladders, mini step ladders that can help people to get inside the balloon. There's also footholds, so there's different ways of getting people of age into the balloon. But in general, there's nothing stopping anyone from experiencing a balloon ride.
So where to from here, Michael?
I need another 100 hours in the class 1 to get to class 2, and then the same thing for class 3 until I get to class 4.
Okay, so the next time we see you, you'll probably be doing class 4. How long does it take?
So it's all dependent on how often I fly. It's dependent on the weather. So the more people are watching the show and are interested in flying and come and book with us, then the quicker I'll be able to get to my next class, because then I can fly more often.
It is spring season and I feel like this is the perfect time to try hot air ballooning. You agree with me?
100%. So this is the season when we generally get very busy. As you saw this morning, we had 6 balloons in the air, which is generally very beautiful for us to see.
Okay, thank you so much for being on the show, Michael, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, what is TrendzLive without fire performances? Now, popular Durban-born Afropop duo Black Diamond are now fully rocking solo missions since they left Ambitious Entertainment last year to start their own record label called Umuti OTT. There were some hiccups, but since that all cleared up, the hitmakers have gone on to sign 2 new artists, Mawelele and Makhosi. These newly signed artists dropped their first single today called Buya. Now, they are here in studio to tell us a bit about this new single, the journey, and of course what to expect. Gents, welcome to TrendzLive.
My brother, thank you so much.
I'm excited to have you here. Hey?
Thank you.
New faces, new kids in the block, new music, new sound. Mawelele, I'm going to start with you, right?
Yeah,
tell us a bit about who you are and what we can expect from you.
Okay, so Mawelele is a young boy from Pretoria, Mabopane. So Nkulele Valley, of course, on a small township called Iporki.
Yeah.
So music wami inspire i-church background yami because ngikhule ngidlala i-keyboard esontweni, singing at church. So music wami, I'm promising people ukuthi bazozwa that flavor from church. So we're taking it all the way back.
Look at you, from Porky to Josie.
Yeah.
And you, Makhosi, just tell us a bit about yourself.
Makhosi is a boy from Umhlanga. I'm in Nelspruit in a small town called Babaton.
Yeah.
So I'm also doing Afropop.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a duo. I like doing so.
Yeah.
People must just expect good music.
They must expect good music, ne?
Yeah.
You had that Angisha Mzansi. Now tell us quickly, how did Black Diamond actually find you? I'll take this one from you, Makhosi.
It was on TikTok.
Yeah.
Ndu Browns found me. I did an Oma cover.
Yeah.
Since they have a song, I did the cover, put my verse in there, and then Ndu Browns spotted me, and then we met with the gents.
The power of social media.
Yes.
We're all on TikTok now.
Yeah.
Now tell us quickly, what do you think from you, Mawelele, attracted Black Diamond to actually see talent in the both of you?
I feel like so too we carry something unique. As much as Mani, I'm an artist out there, but then I feel like we are unique in our own way.
Yeah. Actually, I want to throw you under the bus quickly, ne? What makes you guys work, actually? Give us the secret. Whenever you walk into studio and whenever you're creating beautiful music, what do you think is that magic chemistry between the both of you?
We just get along, man. We just get along. That's the thing. We just get along. The brothers introduced us to each other, and siyazwana nje. Kuna energy clean, so it's easy for us to work.
Inspiration and a lot of energy, of course.
Definitely. Now, the reason you are here, your new single, Buya, right? From you, Mawelele, what is the single all about?
Single is about ukulahlekelwa umuntu omthandayo, but you still want them back. So we're saying, hey, because I still need you. So the single is all about that.
Guys, come back. From you, Makhosi, just tell us or take us through the creative process. I want you to take us in studio, when you guys were creating Buya, what was actually happening? The heat, the beat, the vibe, the convos.
It was a funny thing. Funny thing, I recorded this song live on Facebook, imagine, in front of other people. So yeah, it was that, man. I'm just encouraging love with this song. That's it.
Definitely. And gents, come on, Afropop. We are seeing the Yanos are doing the big moves and everything. But you guys, you're like, you know what? We're going to keep the discipline. We're going to keep to Afropop. Why Afropop specifically? Makhosi?
That's just one genre I think I'm good in. Yes, I can be versatile, but then, I'm just keeping the culture. That's it.
And from where now, why Afropop, well?
Honestly, I feel like it is much more easier to touch souls and like speak to people's emotions. So that's why I chose this genre, because it's a bit emotional. Understand? So umuntu dance esikhathini esiningi, they can't get the message behind. They are focused on the movements and everything else. So
And I actually know that your father taught you piano at a very young age. How you were taught piano? The father was prophesying time about piano. What actually happened?
For sure. Ubaba ungifundisile, I wasn't even interested, bengithanda ibhola kakhulu, but then beyazongilanda egroundini afika athi ndoda siyopractice keyboard, so must figure practice, and then someone told me ukuthi bro, for you to be able to play piano you need to sing. So that's when I started singing because being practice. Then my mother was like, bro, you actually doing the right thing. Uyakhona ukucula. So aqala ukungithatha ama videos into enjalo. Ngakhula senga develop uthando for this thing. Yeah.
And then from you, Makhosi, how would you say that the South African music industry is accepting you? Do you think it's welcoming?
I wouldn't say, because there's this thing tribalism, you know that on the entertainment side you go see maybe you're not gonna make it at Josie, so we're pushing, man. I'll just push. I'm not gonna look see is it welcoming or it's not welcoming.
And look at you making it in Josie already on TrendzLive. Talk about our shorts, right? Well, what's there to expect next? What's the next project that we must look forward to from the both of you? I'll start with you, Mawelele.
Okay, so right now we're gonna drop a singles way too separately. So we can't disclose our dates yet. But then big bangers.
Okay, can you give us a sneak peek of the name or something?
Okay. I can't right now.
No.
I can't,
you don't want to get yourself in trouble there, right?
Please.
Where can we get you on social media? Where do we follow you guys? I'll start with you, Makhosi.
It's on Facebook. It's Makhosi RSA and Makhosi. It's double I. And also on TikTok, also on Instagram. It's the same name.
And you, sir?
Mawelele and Makhosi on Facebook, and then Mawelele __ on TikTok and on Instagram.
All right. Just in closing, shortly from the both of you, what's that message that you have for that young kid watching the show and also hoping that one day they'll achieve big goals as you are? I'll start with you.
Patience, man. You just must be patient. Because sisuka kude nathi yabo. Mina ngiqale nje 11 years ago ukwenza music, so kodwa namhlanje ngila. Shout out to Undu Browns futhi ngoba uyena nje ungivusile. Career yami kade nje ICU. So the guy came in and he was like, you know what, let's go.
Definitely.
I trust you.
So you would agree that Rome was not built in one day, ne?
Yeah.
But actually, let me give you guys the stage. Show Mzansi what you guys have in store for us. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to give you Mawelele and Makhosi with their new single titled Buya. Sabuya na tunga indao. Gents, over to you.
Baby ngiyakhumbula mangifona uphenduli kanti ngakwenzani wahamba wangishiya ngedwa mina ngiyakhumbula imizwa yami ishawa uzamqolo baby uyoyiphula
Wadali wabuya wabuya ma dali wabuya indawo yakhe inhliziyo yami isilungisiwe dali wabuya ma dali wabuya indawo yakhe inhliziyo yami isilungisiwe
kanti wenze njani ngothando lwami nawe ufuna ngithande bani inhliziyo icinga ngawe kanti wenze njani ngothando lwami nawe kanti ufuna ngithande bani ngoba inhliziyo icinga ngawe manje ngiyathatha ngiyabeka ngizama ukuhlanganisa kuhlangani kodwa inhliziyo ayiphakelwa angazi mntana omuntu ongithandi ngani manje ngiyathatha ngiyabeka ngizama ukuhlanganisa kuhlangani kodwa inhliziyo ayiphakelwa angazi mntana omuntu ongithandi ngani
Jalo masixabana uzongishiya dale engabe umuzi siyawakha kanjani ngoba umasixabana uyangishiya dale ukanti awuboni ngani ukuthi ngiyakuthanda nawe uyangithanda dale ukanti awuboni ngani ukuthi mina nawe sidalelwene dale ukhohliswa yilabangani bakho bathilo manjingelana yoni type yakho ukhohliswa yilabangani bakho bathi ngimdala kodwa ikintatanga nayo ukhohliswa yilabangani bakho bathilo manjingelana yoni type yakho ukhohliswa yilabangani bakho bathi ngimdala.
Thank you so much. You're still tuned in to TrendzLive. Did you follow us on X? Remember, it's at Trendz on SABC. Be part of the family and never miss a beat by simply just hitting the follow button. Now, in the United States, it's a barbecue, but in Mzansi, we call it braai. Now, you see, braais bring much flavor to South African heritage and culture of indulging in good food and good times. It's no wonder Sandton's hotel Sandeck has introduced a braai menu to their list of delicious dishes in celebration of both heritage and also Tourism Month. Didintle Mokelezi joined a braai on the deck. Let's go see what's this shisanyama all about.
Set against the backdrop of luxurious Sandton, the Sandeck is a hidden gem for grand partying. This garden often hosts lavish events adorned with delicious food and cocktails. It's the perfect spot for sundowners. We are right in the middle of the concrete jungle. Usually, such places are quite enclosed, a little cold sometimes, but why is this worth coming to all year round?
So what you can see behind us is that we have these amazing fire pits. These are all around the deck, and especially in winter we also provide some gas heaters for our customers, and when it gets really cold we give them blankets so that you can cozy up, enjoy your glass of wine or your glass of champagne.
It has to be a vibe if we want to have fun. How do you create the vibe for us?
So the vibe is created. We have music just generally playing. We play a mix of house music. We have DJs that play from Thursdays to Sundays, and we have a headlining DJ on Saturdays.
This Heritage Month, the introduction of a uniquely designed cuisine has everyone excited. Upon request, in true South African style, you can host a braai on the Sandeck. Why is it so exciting that we can finally braai on the Sandeck?
We're able to offer something that is common to South Africans, but to experience it different in this garden of ours on the 6th floor in the middle of the city, in the heart of Sandton.
Braais are such an important part of South African culture and heritage. Why is it important for you guys to have it for especially our African people?
So I think the whole concept of a braai is part of, it's ingrained in our culture. It's the way that South Africans come together to socialize, and it's that one thing that we get to do together that's uniquely ours, where we get to put meat on the braai, share it together, have a great dinner, socialize, have some drinks, and it's really just the way that we do things as South Africans.
The Sandeck is one of the most amazing places in Johannesburg. I love open spaces and I love it to enjoy with my friends. So I am a regular and I enjoy it because it's in Sandton, and Sandton is not far from all the other places. And also another thing is that we can also celebrate any other occasion. And now that braai is included, it makes it even more fantastic. I mean, luxury and a braai. I mean, absolutely amazing.
For tourists, both local and international, what better time to explore South African food and culture this tourism month than at a stylish braai on a rooftop in Sandton.
People that travel from across the world want to come, and usually they come here for safaris, but this is a unique experience in that they would call it barbecue overseas, but we have such a unique experience where we have morogo, pap, and we just do things so uniquely our way.
We live in the most beautiful, amazing country, and there are so many people who travel into South Africa and they go straight to Kruger or they go straight to Cape Town, and then afterwards they are like, wow, Joburg is so cool. So let me tell you something about Joburg. Joburg has an energy and a buzz that you cannot find anywhere else. There's a soul here, and I just love it.
A braai in Joburg's wealthiest area, Sandton. Now that's called living la vida loca. Bon appetit.
Now, Bona, we took the Kasi culture of braai to Sandton, but if you thought that's just it, let me just turn up the volume just a bit, just to show you the bit of the beauty of Mzansi and its culture. Now, Heritage Month is a celebration of different cultures and traditions, and as we continue to celebrate this special month, TrendzLive took a short left, we said to the Germiston Emperor's Palace and explored what a luxurious African-inspired restaurant had to offer in terms of their cuisine. Now, the establishment Woodman offers unique traditional food infused with ancestral deco and stylish furnishing. Talk about luxury and tradition combined. Ari Lobon.
Still celebrating Heritage Month, we are today at the Tribes African Steakhouse to explore the different African cuisines that they have here. And I am joined by Andrea. Hello, how are you?
Good evening, yeah, thank you for having us and thank you for allowing us to showcase our restaurant.
Thank you so much. I love it. Beautiful. The African theme. How did that come about?
Well, Tribes is a 23-year-old steakhouse. It is an African fusion steakhouse. When the casino was being built, there was a steakhouse that needed to come in here, and obviously we decided to go with an African theme to suit the international people that come in, to suit the international flavor that everybody needs, and obviously the African cuisine, very important. We need to showcase it. It's a very widespread restaurant. There's little corners for everybody. We have space for big tables, functions. We have a lot of that during December, and obviously companies come and enjoy the space with a lot of obviously with a lot of people and space. And we also have our little corners where all the lovers want to come and sit and eat and enjoy a nice bottle of wine. We bring a DJ every Thursday, and obviously we want ladies to come and have a good time. We have a special set menu for the ladies, which obviously showcases our meals and cocktail. You get a free cocktail with it. And yeah, we're trying to obviously get some African vibe going. We have special little areas that we wanted to still showcase and just modernize. One of the most popular areas is probably our Boma. That is, we've basically created a whole little cove that we can just sit and have your dinner and your wine and look up at the African stars that we have put through projectors, and also a fireplace that obviously gets put to good use in winter. And yeah, it's just cocoons you in this amazing little area where we can just sit and enjoy a special celebration, a birthday, an anniversary. One thing that you'll be surprised to know is that South Africa, we've got excellent meat, and definitely all the international people that come here, especially from America or definitely the UK, really praise the South African meat. So we really take great pride in that.
So Andrea, what are some of your specialties here?
So our main dish that really flies is an array of game that we serve on one platter. We got 4 different types of meat. We have ostrich, we have warthog, we have kudu and impala on the plates.
Wow!
Obviously each cut is done specially to enhance flavor, and served with a cherry sauce on the ostrich. The kudu is stuffed with cheese and pepper crusted. So yeah, everything just gets looked after and tastes good. Definitely our biggest seller is the pork ribs, which is a full cage, and it's a recipe dating back about 25 years, and that we just will not ever change. So I think that's definitely the one. People come from all over just to get a taste of that. And of course, the special vibe that you get in a restaurant like this with an open kitchen, there's always something happening, there's always an element of fire, there's always an element of noise, and of course we bring in drums that when people are celebrating, we beat the drums for them, we sing, and we'll show you a little bit later how we do it, and it's quite festive.
How do people react to the drums?
Oh, people love it. People love it. A lot of filming, a lot of dancing, shaking in their seats.
Okay.
Definitely goes down well.
Do you ever shake?
I shake. But I'll tell you what, there's going to be a bit of painting involved, because I would definitely want you to get your face painted with our African theme, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You will look even more beautiful than what you do.
Under what condition, Andrea?
Yes.
You dust the drums.
We're going to do the drums.
What could be your message, your heritage message to Africans this month?
Well, I think it's probably more special than what we realize, our heritage, whether we're from here or wherever in the world, and we should definitely celebrate it and never forget it. Home is home, and we should definitely go out and experience restaurants like this and other places that give us an experience to go take us back to our roots and enjoy the heritage day and heritage month.
Beauty of culture in Mzansi. Well, let's go pay our bills. Let's go for a cricket break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still tuned in to TrendzLive, exclusive to SABC News Channel 404. Remember to follow us on the X app. It's a Trendz on SABC. Now, ke spring and we are certainly out there looking for cool activities to partake in and fancy places to visit. Now, this time around, Selepe Maifadi checked out the Vivian Reddy's new property development called Oceans that has turned Umhlanga into the finest destination to visit in the KwaZulu-Natal. This one-of-a-kind collaborative property has enriched the heritage and tourist attractions of the Zulu Kingdom. Let's go take a look.
Location, location, location. It can determine a lot, especially when it comes to leisure and exquisite lifestyle. In Johannesburg, there is the richest square mile, that is Sandton, which shows off all the finest elements of leisure and lifestyle. When we move down to the coast of KZN, Umhlanga is top of mind for such experiences. Tell us about this connection and how this all came together with Oceans.
So, Oceans Umhlanga Development is an international property award-winning development that is mixed use, which means it has a hotel, it has a shopping mall, world-class shopping mall at that. It has 2 twin towers that construction is going to begin now in the fourth quarter of 2023, and it is the brainchild of business titan Mr. Vivian Reddy and his co-partner, which is Mr. Rob Alexander. But the way it is structured, the flavor and flair that is Oceans Umhlanga, it's not just brick and mortar. It is a vision and a dream that started in Vivian Reddy's head more than 15 years ago to really shift, shape the landscape of the north of Durban. Because as you can see, over the past, say, 15, 20 years, a lot of big regional offices have moved to Umhlanga Ridge, Umhlanga Rocks, specifically because it lends itself with close proximity with the airport.
One important thing is the location for us, which is quite significant enough compared to any other hotels within Radisson. We've got a platinum walk just attached to the Oceans Mall, and it's actually exciting moments for all our travelers, whether it's corporate or leisure clients that are trying to come and actually excite and experience us.
We're in spring now, and
correct.
That's like the best time for everyone to say, I want to go hit the beach and go enjoy myself. Everyone who's staying inland is basically coming down to the coast.
Yeah.
What is coming up in the offering from the brand that is highlighting spring and this new season of heat vibes?
Considering that spring as a month of September going forward is also a heritage month. So we've got quite a few lined-up things or activations that we're incorporating with this season. And everyone is excited, you said, that we are just in close proximity within the beach. We've got different activations like the Rugby World Cup, so we're incorporating quite a lot of those. And for people to also enjoy and experience the luxury side or the luxurious things about the mall itself as well as the brand.
So it only meant, made business sense to build something that would take Durban just a notch higher. Not just about beaches and rickshaws and, traditional, and mind you, it is Heritage Month. But this Heritage Month is of a different flavor and style, simply because, number one, where we're sitting now, amazingly enough, it is probably the most empowered hotel, arguably in Africa, because 30% of Radisson Blue Durban Umhlanga Hotel is owned by the public, which is a deliberate effort by Mr. Vivian Reddy to empower those who would never see themselves in a property industry. I'm a living testimony because he opened the door to me and said, young man, I want to make this hotel fully empowered. And I said, how? He said, I want an IPO, initial public offering. People must buy shares, they must partake. It's not about becoming a millionaire by investing in the hotel, but it's the window of opportunity that has awakened the ordinary black South African.
We were very excited to open this place from the beginning. It's been an amazing journey, and I mean, we're just here to bring it.
I see that this Heritage Month, you have a special spread put out here. Break that down for us and just tell us why you've included these certain elements to kind of portray South African culture and heritage.
I think it's a very fascinating board. It's an interesting board with much variety and culture, tradition for South Africans. Because South Africans, I mean, for one, I've gone to a lot of cities and towns. There's nothing that brings people together like food.
Yes.
And you know, our braais on the weekend. And with the rugby, you know, we have quite a few meals that we have introduced for the Rugby World Cup.
Some of the meals that you have done for international guests, what have you seen the reception to be like?
I think that international guests, they do love to try out our dishes, our local foods, you know, our seafood. Being here close to the ocean, we do have quite a lot of seafood dishes as well, seafood platters and pastas. Yes. But I mean, if Radisson is versatile, if you have a guest that comes from Italy and he requests bacon carbonara with linguine, we're gonna make it for you. And then, I mean, we make you feel at home, away from home.
Heritage Month looks different for everyone, whether it's through a delicious, proudly South African meal or a celebration of the growth of the African child. We here at Trendz will certainly explore these beautiful ways of culture with you.
Truly, time flies when you're having fun, and just like that, an hour is gone. It's time for me to say goodbye. From me, Tisetso Masike, and the amazing team behind the camera, Mudimukyo, Salibali. My best advice to you, remember to clap for yourself, be your own fan, and don't wait for any validation, because you'll never be happy. Be your own fan, man. Sheba, long weekend there. Be sure to be safe. Adikale. God bless and take care. Mudimukyo.